Honda Motorcycle Troubleshooting. If you're looking for help fixing your Honda motorcycle, look no further. Our comprehensive Honda Motorcycle Troubleshooting Guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. Check the battery on your Honda motorcycle. Always start with the obvious. A motorcycle starting problem could be something as simple as a weak or dead battery. So start by testing that first. Loosen and remove the 5mm Allen bolts holding the seat in place and lift it off. Attach a multimeter to the battery. Then follow the instructions on your multimeter to check the voltage. If the battery reads 12 volts or less, it's about 75% used up and not far from dying. Note after resting for a while with nothing pulling power from it. A fully charged 12-volt motorcycle battery should read approximately 12.6 volts. Check the fuse on your Honda motorcycle. If the battery checks out after testing it for voltage, the next simple and logical step is to check out the fuse S. Locate the junction between the starter cable and the starter relay. Above it, you'll see a rubber cover. Disconnect him to reveal a fuse. Remove the fuse and inspect it to see if it's blown. A break in the wire inside or a blackening of the plastic on the fuse that makes it look burnt or singed means it's time to replace it with the correct amp fuse. Check the starter switch on your Honda motorcycle. If the battery and the fuse are both fine, you're going to have to dig a little deeper and find out if the starter switch is the problem. Use a wire with a probe on either end to bypass the switch and start the motor. With one end connected to the positive terminal of the battery, make contact with the connector on the yellow wire with the red stripe that leads into the maroon main plug. If the engine doesn't start, you found the problem. Check the starter relay. If that last troubleshooting step does start the engine, the issue may lie with the starter relay. Disconnect the starter cable from the relay so that you can actually hear the contacts. Engage the starter button on the handlebar, and you should hear it click as the contacts connect. If you don't hear anything, the starter relay is the problem and needs to be replaced. No fuel. When your fuel level goes down, it is very difficult to judge its availability using the gauge, and that could also be a reason why your bike isn't starting. At that time, you can use some old-school techniques to check if your bike has fuel or not. One of the easiest ways is to shake your bike gently when on the main stand and wait to hear that typical telltale slosh of remaining fuel, if any, from the tank. Alternatively, you could also check it using the flashlight of your mobile phone. Clogged fuel tank vent. There is a very small vent provided on the fuel tank of your motorcycle for the outlet to supply fuel continuously to the intake system. In most of the bikes in India, it is the keyhole of the fuel tank cap. When this vent gets clogged, the tank stops the supply of fuel to the lower system. You can unclog the vent with a very thin wire or pin along with a forced blow in that hole. Source: partzilla.com